welcome to Sarna's Stories of Odisha. And our team is here today on the auspicious day of 21st Feb as we begin our maiden Bhubaneswar Heritage Walk or Bhubaneswar Aitiho Padajatra. And we have students and parents and history and culture enthusiasts here. All right. So friends, right now we are at Devi Padahara. Ke janchati? Anybody who knows Devi Padahara tank bisare? No? All right. Acha mate kontu. You all know Shiv Bhagwan and Parvati? Okay? So when Shiv Bhagwan and Parvati got married, where did they settle down? No. They settled down in Varanasi. Okay? Varanasi, the town. So tapre kod hela? Varanasi became crowded. बहुत सारे लोग आके रहने लगे, so it became crowded, and that's when Bhagwan Shiv and Parvati Mata decided to come to Ekamra Kshetra to settle down. Okay, so that is why this place is called Ekamra Kshetra. So ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ଆସିକି ଥିଲେ, ରହିବାକୁ ଆସିଲେ, this place was actually under the tyranny of two demons, Kirti and Vaso. Remember the names? Kirti and Vaso. They were the two demons, Rakshas, ଯୋଉମାନେ ଏଠି ରାଜ କରୁଥିଲେ. Okay. So, and people were actually worried. The sages were also worried. So they wanted that these two demons should be killed. As a demon ko kill karibe? Devi Parvati was given. So what she did was, she decided to transform herself into a beautiful milk woman. Gualani jota hame कहती हैं. जो औरतें they belong to the milkman family, right? So she converted herself into a beautiful woman, turned into a beautiful milk woman, and then she approached to this Rakshas, and she said, "जी मते कांधरे बसे कि नहीं पारिबो, तुझे पर बिंदु सागर अच्छे से जगह जे नहीं पारिबो, I will get married to her." The Rakshas were actually mesmerized by her beauty, okay, and they wanted to marry. So she said, "If you could carry me on your shoulders, I will marry you." Of course, the demons offered Kirti and Vasa. Devi Parvati tanko kandha upare, on their shoulders. She stood. 1 foot on, 1 foot was on the shoulder of Kirti and the other one of the Vasa. So this is where they came, and eventually, she being a divine beauty and the power of divinity, she started exerting a lot of pressure on them. Itte pressure hegala that they could not sustain. The demons could no more sustain the weight. So mane eri puti hegala. She tapped her feet and the demons got buried here. Okay? And this place is known as Devi Padahara. That's the history and the legend behind it. Now you know it? Was it interesting? Okay. As we discussed about Devi Padahara, and before we move on from this place, let us hear about the importance of water bodies or the sacred tanks that we have in Odisha from Jitu sir. Sir, please tell us something about the holy water tanks of Ekamra Kshetra.
Okay. So, we all know water is the most critical resource. Without water, we cannot think of living even for a moment. So, not only human beings, but all creatures, all living beings in the planet. That is how Mother Earth is different from the rest of the planets in the solar system. So, this is the only planet where you have the water. And because without water, we cannot think of living even for a moment. So from the very beginning of Indian civilizations, going back to the Indus Valley civilizations, 5,000 years before, our ancestors had realized the importance of water. So water has been always considered as a matter of divinity, because it has been always considered sacred. Okay, if you go to the site of Dholavira, which is in Rann of Kutch in Gujarat, there is the earliest evidence going back to 5,000 years, where the idea of step-fish, like you are entering to the womb of the Mother Earth, like here, like we are climbing down. We are descending from the earth to the womb of the Mother Earth to reach to the water, and which is the pure, like nectar. So that is how water is considered as very, very sacred. And it's not just for the survival, but also it's part of our daily life. Whether it is rituals, any religions, whether it is Hindus or Sikhs or Muslims, Islam, any religions you talk about. So every religion's water has considered very sacred. So in Ekamra Kshetra, which is a very interesting place, why so many temples came to be here? I mean, of course, there are Puranas which talk about the sanctity of this place. Rosalind talked about how Shiva and Parvati settled here for some times in their life. You know, they had migrated from Banaras to Bhubaneswar, and they had settled here because Banaras was getting overcrowded. So here it was much more beautiful in terms of geography. You have beautiful forests, rivers, oceans, lakes, birds, animals, forest. Everything was there in Bhubaneswar or Ekamra Kshetra. We know about the legend behind it. So when they came here and Ekamra Kshetra, the main why we have so many temples, of course this is what we discuss about, that is the Puranic aspects, or that is what has been written in the scriptures of Hinduism. But Bhubaneswar geography, to see, it is located in the transition of Mahanadi Delta and the low mountains of the eastern Ghats. So if you go to the north of Bhubaneswar, that is the Chandaka forest area, where you have so many trees. Now, of course, because of modernizations, we have very limited forest available. But think about 1500 years before. There were so many trees. It was dense forest, infested with elephants and other animals like tigers, leopards, and so many elephants, so many animals. So, Chandaka forest also has a lot of rivulets, streams. You know, from there, many of the Bhubaneswar streams, you know, like you have in Acharya Vihar or in Chandrasekharpur or Nayapalli, so they originate at Chandaka forest. And what happens when the leaves fall down? You know, all of them, many of them are the medicinal plants. They fall down on the water, and those, stimulants carry the medicinal property, because these leaves have the medicinal property. And somehow in this part of Bhubaneswar, which is actually opening up to the delta region, here it is a flood plain. So here the water movement becomes little stagnant. So it doesn't move as it doesn't flow as it is in the Chandaka area. So here, our ancestors found having the water, having the medicinal values, they could cure themselves, they could heal themselves from different ailments, different diseases. So, especially skin diseases. So, they believe that it's because of the presence of the gods, presence of the goddess, the divinity. So, we have such, water bodies which have so much of medicinal properties. And that is how the temples were built. And in our ancient scriptures, it's also said that wherever there is a water body, there should be a temple. The Tirtha Kshetra should be near the water body. And also, if you see the Mughals, they also wanted to bury themselves on the bank of the Jamuna river. So that is what we have a very strong association with water. So whether it is Islam or Sikh or Hinduism or Buddhism, every religion we have more exposed to water bodies. Temples. Actually, this is the main temple, and then you have somewhere around more than 64 temples, smaller temples you have inside within the Lingaraj temple complex. So you have 64 temples, and this temple just behind where I am pointing out is the temple of goddess Parvati, who was the wife of Lord Lingaraj. Another interesting thing about Lingaraj temple, which you will see also in the batch given, there are two flags.
Yes.
So it's not a complete Shiva temple.
See on the back.
It's not a full Shiva temple. It is partly Shiva and partly Vishnu. So it's called Harihara temple. Harihara temple. So that's why both Bilva, and Tulasi are offered to the deity.
Friends, again I put it through. So this temple is Maitreshwar temple. Probably the construction started in 12th century, but by 14th century also not yet properly completed. And right besides it is Papanasini tank. It's another holy body. Okay? Does anybody know about Papanasini tank?
Yes.
You know?
If you swim or if you dive over there, they say according to mythology, you cleanse your sins.
Wonderful. cleansed of. Yes, Papanasini, the name itself is self-descriptive. So if you see, the legends say that there was this rishi by name Sajoti. Sajoti Rishi ଥିଲେ, and he kept on praying to Lord Shiva. Okay, ମାନେ relentlessly ବହୁତ ଭଲ ମାନେ ଶ୍ରଦ୍ଧାରେ ସେ pray କରୁଥିଲେ, and when Lord Shiva was immensely satisfied with the sage, he appeared and he asked him कि कौन वरदान तुमको दरकार मांगो. He asked if you need a वरदान, ask me. Then Sajoti mentioned that let us have a tank over here, so that anybody who comes and takes a dip in this holy water gets cleansed of his sins. Henmane, Anna, Ishara, take. All right, Daisy, ask jao. So where are we now? Bindu Sagar Lake. We all know about it. समझते कौन हुए बिंदु सागर रे रिचुअल्स हुए हमें माने सब कार्तिक पूर्णिमा रे डंगा भसा हुए. यस, सो बिंदु सागर इज कामरूप क्षेत्र's largest water tank, recreated water tank or a holy pond. We all heard about the story of Devi Padahara, right? So how Parvati killed the demon Kriti and Vasu. So what happens when you get into a very tiring activity? After that, you feel thirsty, isn't it? Yes? So that's exactly what happened. After killing the demons, Devi, are you all listening, people? Look here. So Devi Parvati felt thirsty, okay? After killing the demons, so she wanted to drink water. तो क्या किया उन्होंने? शिव जी ने अपना जो त्रिशूल है, the trident, उन्होंने यहाँ पे स्टक किया. तो जैसे स्टक किया, वाटर का स्प्रिंग निकला, ठीक है? And then eventually, a pond, they made an embankment and a pond was created. So when you come here, this place is famous for all good rituals. People do tarpan and various other activities, based on the religion. You also see a shrine in the middle, right? Yes? Yes. So that's Jagati Pitha, okay? So in the month of May, okay, भगवान शिव खुद नौका में बैठ के आते हैं. He goes and pays a visit to the shrine and returns. चापो होइकरी जानती बुली की दर्शन करिकरी आसंती. It's in the month of May when the Chandana Jatra takes place. That's when Shivji comes. लिंगराज से आसंती ऐसे की डोंगरे बसिकरी सेठी की जानती. The shrine, the god idol, okay, the deity comes here and then he visits the shrine, घूम के दर्शन करके जाते हैं.